Can you hear me? Anyone?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Just wanted to make sure.
Are all of the panelists in are here?
We are waiting on one more panel. Yep, we're waiting on one.
There she is.
Yep, there she is. I thought she was signing on. I was like, I think she's coming on now.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my desktop. So you should be able to see the slide, is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Oh, it keeps coming back. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is Stacy. I am your NJACAC facilitator here, a volunteer facilitator for your panel session. I'm just going to go over a couple of housekeeping items here. First, welcome and thank you so much for participating in our NJACAC virtual college exploration. We'll start broadcasting the session right at the very top of the hour, so directly at 3 o'clock. I'll begin with an opening slide and a few housekeeping announcements to the attendees. Then I will stop sharing my screen, turn off my video and my microphone as well. And then I will turn it over to whomever is going to be sharing their screen and taking over. We'll end the session 45 minutes past the hour. I'll turn my video back on and share a final housekeeping slide. We'll record the presentation and make it available for those students who couldn't attend but still want to watch it on demand later. Just a reminder to please mute yourself when you're not actively speaking. StriveScan will send you the list of all the students registered for this session and a transcript of any of the questions that were submitted in the Q&A session within the next week. Students who ask their questions via the Q&A can go ahead. You can go ahead and click the Q&A button now to open the window. We recommend that you do not click answer live. That will share the student's full name and questions with the entire audience. Instead, we recommend that you simply repeat the question aloud for the entire audience and answer it verbally. Then you can click the dismiss button to hide the question. You can also type your responses by clicking the type answer button, but we also recommend you check the send privately button. You may not get to every question, and that's okay. You'll receive a transcript, like I said, of all the questions that were submitted by the attendees from StriveScan to follow up with students later. If you get a lot of questions, you might want to acknowledge the fact that you got a lot of questions and you'll have to answer them at a later time. Are you sharing your screen? Who's sharing their screen? I recommend that you go ahead and try sharing your screen now and test it out.
Okay, I'll try right now. Okay. Everyone can see my screen?
Yes.
Or let's see. Okay. All right, well, this shows something differently. Hold on one second. Present on this differently. There we go. How does it look on everyone's screen?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. There's no option. I don't know if there's an option, Gloria, because I know you're using your iPad to make it like more full screen because it looks little on my screen.
It does? All right, hold on a second. Maybe
Yeah, same here.
better?
There you go. That's
Much
better.
All right,
better.
I'll just change the way where I'm at.
Yeah,
But,
that's perfect.
It's better like that? Okay.
Yep.
All right, perfect. All right. So you're able to see when I'm switching and everything, right? Okay. I'll just stop sharing right now.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. I'll just have to change my, there we go. Let me see.
Okay, just a heads up for the end of the session. When the session is done, I'll end the webinar. That will disconnect all of us, so we won't be able to chat afterwards. That keeps everything moving forward. So I just want to say thank you in advance for all of your participation. I'm going to go ahead and share the next slide so that it's ready whenever the next seconds start. I'm at 3 o'clock. Everyone ready?
Yes.
All right, good luck. Everyone can still hear me?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
I'm going to go ahead and broadcast. Welcome everyone to the Virtual College Exploration for all New Jersey students, sponsored by the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you all for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your question to our presenters at any time. You should see it at the top of your screen. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, but be sure to check out the full schedule at NJACAC.org. This presentation is being recorded and it will be available within a week at the same website, NJACAC.org. I'd now like to turn over to our presenters.
Hello. All right. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen and let's see. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Breaking Down Barriers and Diversity Amongst Religious Institutions. And over here, we will be having Caldwell University, College of Mount St. Vincent, and St. Elizabeth University. My name is Gloria Dirtiano, and I'll be addressing any questions. And besides the questions, if you want to also chat privately, please utilize the chat, and I'll be facilitating the presentation. Jada? Jada, is your mic on?
Yeah, there it is. So hi everybody, I am an admissions counselor, excuse me, at Caldwell University. So I will be going over certain aspects and breaking down the barriers at Catholic institutions.
Michelle and Kiana, do you guys want to introduce yourself next?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Kiana Frazier. I am one of the admissions counselors at St. Elizabeth University, and I'm also an alumni.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Chobor. I am one of 3 undergraduate admissions counselors at St. Elizabeth University. I'm currently covering the South Jersey region as well as the Pennsylvania area.
And last but hopefully not least, my name is Tyler Margolis. I am the Assistant Director for Admission at the College of Mount St. Vincent, and my recruitment territory is also New Jersey, Pennsylvania, as well as the Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia area as well. And I believe we have Michelle or Kiana kicking us off.
Yes.
Okay, so during the presentation this afternoon, you're going to be learning about what makes all 3 of our institutions unique and also what sets us apart. So the 3 main themes that we'll be covering today are diversity, campus climate and curriculum, and student life and activities. We will conclude with a student panel with a student representative from each of our institutions that'll give you all the opportunity to ask them questions and have them answer from the student perspective, which is awesome. And then we will have time at the end for a question and answer. So as Gloria mentioned, she will be facilitating our Q&A. So any questions that you have throughout this presentation, feel free to get them ready for her and type them into that chat box, and we can verbally answer them at the end of this presentation. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Jada Cox from Caldwell University to get us started on our first topic.
So I will be covering the diversity and inclusion at Catholic institutions. So obviously a big misunderstanding or misconception at Catholic institutions is that a majority of the students may be predominantly white or are predominantly Catholic. Here at Caldwell, we actually are a very multicultural campus. We have students not only hailing from New Jersey. I do cover all outside states besides about Delaware, Massachusetts, New York, Maine, cover every other thing outside of that. So there's a lot of recruitment that we do outside of New Jersey and throughout the world. So currently right now we have 25 different flags hanging in that hall, in that picture right there, and 42 different countries from which our students hail from on campus. So we do get students from all over the world, and not all of them are Catholic. A majority of the students come from different backgrounds, and they also come to practice their religion when they come to our campus. And being that we were officially named a Hispanic serving institution, we do have plenty of multicultural, both sororities and fraternities on our campus, to make sure that students from all nationalities are able to feel like they have a place and a home on our campus. Even though it's a Catholic institution, they don't have to be Catholic to come. About 68% of our incoming students do identify as colored students or students of color. A large amount of our students, more than half the population at Caldwell, are students that come from different backgrounds, including African American, Hispanic, Asian. They all come at Caldwell, and they're all also allowed to practice their religion at any of our Catholic halls on campus. So we have about 3 or 4 Catholic halls on campus where traditionally there would be a Catholic mass there, but the students are allowed to use it at any point. So a Muslim student can use it to practice their religion. A student that is awakened can use it to practice their religion. Students of any religion can use any of our traditionally Catholic halls to practice their religion while on campus. So that way they feel a little bit more at home. Even though it is a Catholic institution, we do have nuns, we have fathers. It helps to make students feel a little bit more diversified. So definitely a big misconception when it comes to Catholic institutions. Next, we'll have Kiana taking over for our campus and climate curriculum.
So another common misconception when you're attending a Catholic institution is that you have a religion requirement, but at SEU, your classes are your choice. There is an option for you to take religious studies courses, they're not a requirement for graduation. However, we do offer a general education class, which is our SEU 300, and that explores spirituality and ethics, whatever that is for you, as well as our mission being service-oriented. We do tons of service learning within that as well. Like Caldwell, we also invite you to learn and explore religions other than your own. Our campus ministry office provides tons of activities for people who are a part of the Catholic faith or which other faith they are a part of. We have prayer, activities, reflection rooms, as well as other events that are hosted on and off campus for students to be a part of. Our student panelists, Danielle, will be able to talk a little bit more about that. So now we're going to go to Tyler.
Awesome. Thanks, Kiana. My name's Tyler. I am from the College of Mount St. Vincent, as I mentioned before, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about student life and activities. So as both Jada and Kiana were mentioning, at a Catholic institution, there's also a common misconception that a majority of student activities and organizations are just focused on religion. Like both Caldwell and St. Elizabeth, while we do have clubs that are focused on this topic of religion and Catholicism or Christianity, we also have a variety of a majority of different clubs and organizations that display our diverse student body at CMSV, whether it's through culture, dance, or community service organizations. Students at the Mount have the opportunity to both interact with students from similar cultural backgrounds, while also having the opportunity to explore different cultures of their fellow classmates. Now, the reason that the College of Mount St. Vincent values diversity so much is that 60% of our students are first-generation students, and a majority of them are located in various parts of the tri-state area, more specifically New York City, which is one of the cultural hotbeds, not only in the country, but in the entire world. Just to give you a better understanding of what our campus looks like, you can just go back one, Gloria. I'm not there just yet.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No worries. Study.com actually ranked us among the 50 most diverse colleges and universities in the world. Just to give you a better understanding of the demographic breakdown, we are 41% Hispanic or Latino, 15% of our students are African American, and 9% are Asian. So as you can see, we are in Riverdale, New York, which is in New York City. And that, our student body really reflects the diverse culture of New York City, which we're extremely proud of. Ready to go to the next one, Gloria? So as a result, as I was mentioning before, we do have a student body that does reflect the diverse community of New York City. And the way the students are really able to express their cultural backgrounds are through different clubs and student organizations. On top of that, each student at CMSV is actually required to participate in a club or activity that's focused on diversity and cultural awareness. Here are a few different clubs and organizations that are on our campus. For example, our Black Student Union is a social and cultural club that's mission is to educate and spread awareness about African American history and the African American experience. On top of that, this union provides opportunities for guest speakers, documentaries, and open discussions related to Afro-American culture, social issues, and awareness. We additionally have our Caribbean Student Association, which celebrates the Mount students of Caribbean descent through programming around campus and various speakers and similar discussions that are going on. We have our Samahan Club, which celebrates Filipino heritage through projects and events that have to do with social and educational value. The group is mostly focused on Filipino roots, and they host traditional events each year, including their Christmas dinner and Barrio Festival, which is really something that we're really proud of on campus. And just to have a little bit more light on Filipino culture, Corson C. Aquino, the former president of the Philippines, actually graduated from the Mount. So you can see in our campus, Filipino heritage is something that we're very proud of. And we have a number of clubs that really insinuate that from a ground level. And on top of that, I'd say last but not least is our Flava Club, which is one of the oldest clubs at the Mount. And this mostly focuses on the hip hop genre. So, touching a little bit more on each club, like I said, we are very proud of who our students are in the classroom, but we really do encourage them to express themselves when they're outside of the classroom. So whether it's learning more about your Filipino heritage or learning more about a coworker or classmate that's Caribbean, there are no boundaries and there are no borders to join any club on our campus. If you, for some reason, or maybe feel like your culture is not being represented, the beauty of a liberal arts school and a Catholic liberal arts school is that you could actually create your own club on campus as well. And those are largely the main benefits, I'd say, of an experience at a Catholic institution like the three institutions that are speaking in front of you today. Now, I believe we are opening it up to our student panel. I'm not sure, Gloria, if there are questions in the Q&A, but yeah, I'll hand it back off to you.
Perfect. Okay. I'll just stop sharing my screen. So the presenter, from our student panel, we have Danielle from St. Elizabeth University, Dorian from College of Mount St. Vincent, and Emily from Caldwell University. So I'll stop sharing my screen so we can open up the questions.
So before we go into questions, I kind of just want to give each of our student panelists the opportunity to introduce themselves, kind of talk a little bit about what they're involved in at their specific institutions, specifically pertaining to the topic of our conversation. So really diversity amongst religious institutions. So what are all of you involved in? So we'll start from Danielle, and then we'll go to Dorian, and then we'll finish with Emily in the order that it was on the screen. So Danny, if you want to take yourself off of mute and really just kind of give your background at St. Elizabeth and what you've done and how you've kind of broken down this misconception.
Hello, I'm Danny, and one of my favorite clubs that I'm in at the University of St. Elizabeth is campus ministry. So that has a lot to do with kind of giving back to the community and building community. So a lot of people think it's just like a Catholic kind of thing. Again, like they think the school is just a Catholic school, but really it's so much more than that. We try to really expand our outlook and learn about as many different faiths as possible. And the main goal is really, like I said, just giving back to the community. For example, we had an event a couple years ago that was Sleep Out for the Homeless. So we all went out to our school's Greek theater and we slept outside for the night. And we did a whole bunch of different, it was kind of like an overnight simulation of what it's like to live without a home. And it really opens your eyes. And we learned about different experiences of people who were in that situation. And so by spreading that information to the different students on campus, you really kind of get a different perspective, and it encourages us as students to want to reach out and want to make a change. And besides that kind of community helping aspect of it, we also, like I said, always make an effort to learn and be inclusive. So we've been to a Hindu temple. I think they've been they've been to a few different religions. I haven't gone to all of the different sites of worship because of class and conflicts, but I've been so interested in learning and expanding my education, because growing up in a Catholic family, all I ever did was go to a Catholic church. But I've been to a Pentecostal service now. I've been to the Hindu temple. So I've we had a feast with a Jewish preacher, I believe. So we're just always learning and always doing new things and always trying our best to be inclusive of everybody.
Thanks so much, Danny. That was perfect. So if we want to go to Dorian, you can introduce yourself next and then kind of talk about what you're involved in at College of Mount St. Vincent and how it fits the theme of this presentation.
Okay, great. So my name is Dorian Robinson. I am a junior at the College of Mount St. Vincent. I'm a part of the men's basketball program. This is my third year playing basketball at the school. And through that, I've had quite a few opportunities to, represent my culture for one, and then, have that influence change our community outside. I'm also a part of the Dolphin Difference Coalition, which is basically a group that was put together full of student athletes from every team, every sports team. And I was chosen to be a part of that, where our basic goal is to not only talk about making differences in our community, but actually going out and doing stuff like that. So this is our first year. And our first event, I feel like it was a big success. We were able to register more than, I believe, 60% of our student athletes who may not have registered to vote. We all got them registered. That was only half of our event. The other half was a game we played. It's called We're Not Really Strangers, which was, I don't know if anybody's played that, but it's basically giving an opportunity for different people who might not have the same thought process to get to know each other and each other's thought processes, and just to be open for new ideas. Also, like I said, I've had a lot of opportunities being a part of the men's basketball program. We have done different community service events, going down to the church, down the street from us, our local church, to help out. And it was almost like a basketball clinic for younger children, to improve their skills in that aspect. And yeah, I think being at the College of Mount St. Vincent has given me more than enough opportunities to, express myself as a young Black man who isn't necessarily, well, I'm not a Catholic at all. That's the thing. But, it's giving me opportunities to express myself and, just be myself and, go out and help the community. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that as well. So we can finish out with Emily from Caldwell University. If you want to go ahead and share your experience, and then we can go ahead and open it up to any questions.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily. I'm a senior here at Caldwell University. I major in political science, and I have 2 minors in global business and math. I'm actually Hispanic. I was born and raised in Ecuador, so the community here is pretty open, especially to us Hispanic people. I'm part of the EOF program, which has helped me to connect to a lot of Hispanic people, and it's very inclusive in that aspect. Also, I'm part of the LASO Club, which is the Latin American student organization, and we do like plenty of events where we portray our nationalities in many different ways. Also, Caldwell has many events where it's very inclusive for all religions. Like Jada was mentioning, we have plenty of students from all over the world. They're international students. So there are many events where we can have a taste or their cultures. Like for example, we don't have like a Thanksgiving feast per se, but everyone gets to bring their own, on Thanksgiving, we have an event when every culture gets to bring their own food, and then we can get to try those foods from different countries, which I think is really nice. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. So thank you again to our panelists, to Tyler, to Jada, to Gloria, to Kiana, and to our students for being here. So, I think that having our students join this panel was so beneficial and so important, because you can hear from us all you want, but it's really the students who you as prospective students are going to be able to relate to. And I think giving them the opportunity to share their stories, and you can see how diverse of a student panel we had amongst all 3 of our institutions and what different experiences they've had. Although our colleges are similar, this just shows how different they are as well. So it really has helped to break down some common misconceptions about religious institutions just by hearing us speak, by hearing them speak. So at this time, we really can open it up to any questions that Gloria may have been monitoring throughout the panel for us. So feel free to add any in that may have come to mind while you've listened to our students, while you've listened to us. And then we can share our screen again with everybody's contact information on it at the end, that of our students and that of our panelists. So at this time, really, it's open to any questions that you may have. Our students are here. They are ready to answer your questions. So we'll see what comes in.
So we have a couple of questions. One of the questions is, what are the benefits of attending an institution as culturally diverse as, for example, let's say College of Mount St. Vincent? Dorian, you can, what do you think?
Oh man, I mean, it's just a complete beneficial experience. You know, it's not single-minded. You know, there are different paths you can take, the different opportunities for you to, like I said, express yourself as a student, and as well as get to know other people of different cultures and everything like that. So I feel like being at this institution specifically, you know, all our clubs, we're all like one close-knit community here. So there is no, oh, they're over there, so I'm not gonna bother them, I'm not gonna mess with them. Everybody here is pretty inclusive, you know what I mean? So I think that's just one of the benefits of many that there are at an institution like this.
Thank you so much, Dorian. And I can also, Danielle and Emily, you can also elaborate on that question. I'll just repeat it. What are the benefits of attending an institution as culturally diverse as St. Elizabeth University and as Caldwell University? Danielle, would you like to go first?
Sure. So I think that, I mean, again, like I agree with Dorian, it's just about like getting the different perspectives and everything. And I think for me personally, I really just like the experience to learn. I mean, it stretches out my education and my experience with other people. And I think that the way to really be able to, some people that aren't so accepting, like there's so many problems in the world today because people just don't accept each other as they are, but the reason is ignorance. If you are experiencing different people and learning the ways that they have their traditions, then it's just a great way to like respect what they do. And then you open yourself up to new experiences too, because I've adapted some of the things that I've seen from like what I've learned on campus.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Emily, with that question, I just want to add one more one more layer. Since you are an EOF student and you mentioned that they are very inclusive, do you mind elaborating on that part?
Yes, definitely. So I agree with all of them. It's definitely what like the biggest benefit out of it is that you get to know the different cultures, you get to know more of them. Because like, for example, here on campus, there's a lot of people from Nepal, and how like I will never in my life probably would have imagined that I was going to have friends in Nepal. And that's just crazy to know so many people from all over the world. And like when they tell you their experiences and how they came here, it's just crazy because, you know, I experienced that myself. And how was the process of like, for like the process of adapting for them, and like I compare it to mine, and it's just so different because we come from different backgrounds. And as for the EOF, well, we have many events. Like I said, we have multicultural centers, and then we also have like advisors that are like on top of us all the time. If we get like good grades, good GPAs, they reward us. So they just kind of like they just keep us going and push us, like they push us to be better.
Thank you so much, Emily. We have a couple of other questions. There was one about being a liberal arts school. A student asked, did you find it hard to pick your major? So who would like to go first?
I can answer.
Thank you, Danielle.
Of course. I went into college knowing that I wanted to study chemistry because science really interested me in high school. So my major wasn't the hard part. Finding the school that fit me best was. So I knew about CSE because my sister graduated from there a few years prior to me looking into colleges. And it was just kind of a no-brainer. I mean, like going there, everybody's so accepting and inclusive. They always were so helpful. So I ended up actually, not only did I already know my major going in, but I ended up picking up another one just because of how helpful everybody is. People are always there to explain if you have any questions, and people will answer questions that you didn't even know that you had. So even I do know a few people who did come in undecided, but just from getting to know the staff and the teachers on campus, they ended up the decision was made so much easier just by the support.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Dorian, would you like to elaborate on that?
Of course. So I totally agree with Danny. She said everything that I was thinking as it was coming to my head. Being at it, okay, let me start over. I had my major as well. I always knew I wanted to be a communications major, you know, but I believe just the people on campus here, or I'm sure at every or all the schools here, the administration here is just so welcoming. They're willing to help you. So like, and then there's just so many different opportunities that you can take. You know, if you come in undecided, you know, you can learn over the course of your first few months maybe, and already have your decision like, oh, this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I think my piece of advice to any prospective student that needs to know what major it is, I mean, just come fill it out. That's what I can say. Come fill it out, and then I'm sure as your time goes along, I'm sure you'll know eventually like, oh, this is what I want to do, and your administration is going to help you. People around you is going to help you, and your friends in your community are going to help you. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Dorian. And Emily, what about you? Did you have your mind made up when you enrolled at Caldwell, or did you need some help figuring things out?
Actually, I didn't. At the time, I knew that I wanted to go into like maybe history. I wasn't sure, but definitely we have a core curriculum that is very, very broad. So the first couple of years I took like classes, like, you know, the regular classes, language, English, language, and math and stuff like that. And it pushed me to actually open up a little more, because when I decided to go into political science, I also decided that I wanted to focus more on economics. So definitely, like they say, the professors are very helpful with it. Having my advisor with me all the time, he introduced me to people in like the business department when I told him that I was interested in doing like an economics minor or going to grad school for economics. And even now, like trying to apply for grad school now, so they're helping me with the whole process of, you know, taking the GRE and all those things. So I think that the staff definitely is what made my decision.
Thank you, Emily. Well, I'm glad to hear that everyone had lovely experiences, even the students that already had their minds figured out to students that were not 100% sure. We have another question. Let's see, how do you support students after graduation? So that can go into, you know, your internship opportunities. How do you feel like once you graduate, do you feel like you're still going to continue having that support of your institution? So let's start from Emily first now.
Yeah, definitely. I know that I'll have the support of my institution. Like I was saying, like on that process of applying to a different grad school. So like, for example, my UAF advisor, it's helping me through it. He's helping me to like look at schools, and we're always connected. If I have a question, because it's a very confusing process if like you don't know what it is. Like, for example, I had no idea with the whole GRE thing. But yeah, he introduced me to a course. He's helping me go through it. Same thing as my advisor. He's helping me, like, for example, I'm doing my honors project as well. So he's helping me with it. He's helping me revise it. And I'm sure they will want to know how I do after school. So I'll be glad to tell them how I'm doing. Thanks to them, because they're part of it.
Thank you. All right, let's start next to Dorian.
Okay. I'm gonna share a personal one. So I'm from Chicago. I don't know if I said that at the start. I'm from Chicago. I'm not from New York or New Jersey, anything like that. But I'm positive my school is, you know, gonna make sure I'm supporting everything like that, because if you look around our campus, there are so many different alums that are working in different offices. Like my big brother, I call him my big brother. He's not really my big brother, but I call him my big brother. He works in the admissions office now. He got me the position I'm working at in admissions. So I feel like just everybody has a different experience, but everybody here is willing to help you do the same thing because they had somebody in their experience to lead them to a certain direction. You know what I mean? So I already know, like there's somebody somebody, if you need help, our alums will make sure it's clear, and they'll guide you in the right direction. So I'm sure it's the same for everybody else, Danny and Emily.
Thank you, Dorian. Danny?
So I think that St. Elizabeth University is definitely the most supportive school that I've ever been to or even like seen. Personally, I know that as an undergraduate student, we have the option to be in the CSE Promise program, which guarantees job placement if the student is not offered anything within 6 months after graduation. You just have to meet the certain requirements throughout your undergraduate experience. And then if you meet those requirements, then you're eligible to have that job opportunity. So that's for any major. The school will guarantee that you have a job after graduation. Additionally, I'm always receiving emails from my chemistry advisor on internships in the area and different job opportunities. So obviously she knows that I'm not going to take every single job that I see, but she's just given me tons of options. And we're always discussing ways that I can figure out what I want to do after graduation and different job fields that I can go into. And also I wanted to share, as I mentioned, my older sister graduated from when it was still the College of St. Elizabeth, and she immediately got into a program called ACE SJU. So the program works in partners with St. Elizabeth University, and she was offered the opportunity to get her master's degree at St. Joseph's University for free while she taught at a school. So you get all different kinds of ways to continue your studies and get different jobs.
Thank you so much, Danny. And this question actually, since you did elaborate on faith and how you were coming from, you came from a Catholic family, and it was, how can you continue your faith? And since you were part of other, you mentioned you've been involved in other clubs and you've seen other religions. So for example, since Dorian isn't Catholic, how can students continue their faith?
Do you mean like on campus?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I think it's so easy to continue your faith on campus and practice whatever you believe in. I know personally as a Catholic, there are masses offered. There's a church right at the end of the college driveway. And then there's a chapel on campus, the Holy Family Chapel, as well as a little prayer room in Henderson Hall. So those are 3 opportunities right off the bat, 3 different locations that are there for religious practice. And in the room on campus in Henderson Hall, that's not specifically just for Catholic services. There have been other services held there, and we also have different like activities and events there. So we have like pizza with a priest, which is anybody of any religion can come and just discuss with our on-campus priests any questions that they may have. So there's opportunities to learn about religion and participate. I think that we once I know that Claire, she's the head of campus ministry. I know she's always trying to hold different kinds of services to provide the opportunity for anybody of any religion to practice their faith.
Thank you so much, Danny. And this question is for Emily and Dorian. What is the best thing about school, about your school?
I think that's a tough question. I don't think there's just one thing to name about the College of Mount St. Vincent. It's just an overall, just all around experience, a great experience for almost everybody that comes here. I know all of my family, they love that I'm out here, even though I'm however many miles away from home. They're excited for me to have this type of experience just based on what I've told them about school. You know what I mean? It's a great campus. It's very, like I said, close knit. It's a great environment to grow. It's just very supportive. Everybody's so supportive, even if you're not necessarily, you don't have the same background. Everybody's very supportive of what you believe in and your thought process. And I believe everybody, almost everybody, there are, I'm sure people that still need to be a little bit more open-minded, but, I think everybody, for the most part, has that same open-minded mindset here.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dorian. And Emily, what do you feel is the best thing about Caldwell?
Like he said, I don't think there's just one thing. There's many things that build up to it. So what I loved here and like what made me make my decision, it was how awesome the stuff was. From the time I stepped into a building, everyone was so nice and welcoming. The staff, my professors are so nice. They're very good. The class size, it's great. The student body, it's great. The student government, it's always creating activities, events. There's events every single time of the week. There's clubs. It's just, the environment is just so cool, so nice. It's just such a great experience, not only in the academics, but also like socially to make friends. They offer plenty of opportunities, and I think that's what I look for.
Thank you so much for sharing all your experiences about your respective institutions. I'm going to share my screen one more time to provide all the counselors' information and the students' information. So just bear with me. Okay, so Danielle, that's Danny from St. Elizabeth University, and her email is on the screen. Then we have Dorian Robinson from College of Mount St. Vincent, and his email is there as well, along with Emily Pozo from Caldwell University, and she's provided the admissions email. So we'll leave it there for a couple of seconds, and then we'll switch it over to our information.
All right, so thank you everybody again for joining us this afternoon. I know it's been tough. It's not been the school year that any of you have imagined, so I really do we all do appreciate you taking the time out to join us this afternoon to hear a little bit more about our institutions and more importantly, hear from our students. They are the ones who are living it every single day, so thank you to you three for joining us. I know that your insight has been much appreciated. So please, on this slide, find our contact information. All of our institutions will be hosting a variety of events throughout the fall. I know us at St. Elizabeth, we're doing virtual and on-campus visits. Caldwell and Mount St. Vincent, I'm sure you guys are doing virtual. I'm not sure if you're doing on campus, but feel free to chime in if you are.
Yeah, so sorry to interrupt, Michelle, but thanks for the segue there, but we do indeed have 5 open house dates scheduled. You could find them on our website under our admissions tab. They're under admissions events, where you could just click a button and sign up for one of our open house dates. I know we have 3 dates in October and 2 dates in November. So that's on campus. So yeah, sorry to interrupt, Michelle. But
No, that's okay. No, that's perfect. So then Jada, if you want to just quickly share what you at Caldwell are doing for events this fall.
So we're actually having a lot of virtual events. Probably have, I think, 10 or 15. Actually, one is tomorrow that I'm hosting. So if any students are interested in the College of Professional Studies or want to inquire about that presentation will be tomorrow. And then I believe we have one on the 1st for College of Natural Behavioral and Health Sciences. And the next one will be next week. So we're going to continue that ongoing until probably Thanksgiving. So feel free to check out our website and look for virtual connections, and it's going to have all of our information. So basically all of the events, open houses, major Pacific events, and of course, any way to connect with your counselor or just get general information about the university.
Yep, perfect. So again, just quickly back to our information on this slide. All of our contact information is here. The links to our websites are all here as well. So if you wanted to take a moment to write this down or screenshot it, take a picture of it, we really are here for you. All 3 of us, as well as our students, we're here to answer any question that you may have. related to this panel, related to our admissions requirements, or anything else that really may cross your mind. We really are here to help you make this college search and transition as smooth as possible, especially given our current global situation. So again, thank you on behalf of all of us at St. Elizabeth, Caldwell, and College of Mount St. Vincent.
Sorry about that. Just a few quick notes. We do want to thank you for joining us today. And we ask that when you close this screen, there's going to be a brief 4-question survey. We do need feedback, so we would appreciate if you would take a moment to complete that 4-question survey. All other sessions, there's a complete list of other sessions that are available at www.njACAC.org/virtual fair. So go ahead and check out those and sign up for any other sessions that you may be interested in. In about a week, you'll be able to find these sessions recordings, as well as any other session recordings at NJACAC.org. Thank you again for joining us, and we hope that you have a wonderful day.
Just a quick question. Sorry,
Yes.
before everyone goes. Will we be sending an inquiry list through StriveScan at the conclusion of this?
It will come in about a week to you.
Okay, awesome. Just wanted to check. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. Thank you guys all for joining us.
Thank you.